Hey guys, so today we're going to be breaking down the ZENKAI Awakening for ZAMASU Goku Black Assist, because this is pretty much the only piece of content we're getting this week. Android 13 released 2 weeks ago. Last week we had the free-to-play Trunks, and then this week is a 1% ZENKAI, and it seems like that's it. A little disappointing. If you look at this exact time slot last year, we had the ZENKAI for the LF Boo Duo, and we also had a 1%, or not 1%, a unique equipment for the Gammas, the LF Gammas. That was their first unique equipment. So it was actually a pretty good off week last year. This exact slot last year. So not particularly off to a great, fantastic, swell start here for October. Typically October is where we start to ramp up a little bit for Legends Fest, right? Usually what happens is August and September are more quiet months where, you know, we get the typical monthly campaigns, and that's pretty much how things go. It's usually quieter periods of the game. October is, you know, it's a little bit more in line with a more exciting time. It does not seem to be the case, at least for this first week. Next week should be a pretty big drop. I think next week will be an Ultra. If the Ultra is not next week, then it should be the end of the month. And if the Ultra is not the end of the month or next week, then we're probably getting 2 Ultras for Fest. Okay. So either 2 LFs this month or an LF or an Ultra, right? Because they have to, just simply because they have not done a Mega Rising banner in over a year now. So I am proceeding under the guise that Mega Risings are no longer a format that exists. Anyway, let's take a look at ZAMASU and Goku Black's ZENKAI. This is a character that I think people would view. I wouldn't really go so far as to call this character a fan favorite, but this was a pretty popular character back when they dropped. This is a character that's almost 4 years old now, because they dropped next to the original tag Blue Goku and Vegeta and Sword of Hope Trunks. They were the 1% sparking alongside Sword of Hope Trunks on this banner. Okay, they are a defense type, so yeah, definitely not expecting their offensive stats to be anything crazy. And honestly, their defense stats are not too crazy here. Remember, we got to take 13,000 off for the arts boost. So actually, they're going to be under 190k defenses here. Yeah, that's not very good. Not very good for a ZENKAI defense character. Not very good. Okay, the blue card, massive damage, 30% blue card damage on hit, minus 70 key, enemy Dragon Balls -1. I guess the good thing about this is there's no limit on this. You can just unlimitedly destroy Dragon Balls with this. The green draws 1 card if hand has 3 or fewer, key plus 30, damage against Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan plus 50% uncancelable. Yes, I mean that's a permanent buff, which is nice. Enemy vanishing gauge minus 100% one time. That's not new. They already had that. All enemy damage received plus 30% for 20 counts. All enemy health restoration minus 15% for 20 counts, which is stackable. You can stack those, which is pretty good. Yeah, the green card, I remember this being their signature ability, right? Because this I think was the first character to proactively remove Vanish. I think I would have to actually like sit down and think about that, but I think something is telling me this is the first character that was able to proactively remove opponent Vanish with this green card. I think very strong. Main ability, draws a blue card, 30% health, 50 key, 50% to special move damage, health restoration plus 50%, gradually restores health for 60 counts, cancels attribute downgrades of normal conditions. Okay, it would have been nice if this like supported the team or healed the team, you know, something like that. The ability is featured God Key, both defenses, and then future powerful opponent strike attack. ZENKAI ability's got to be green future. Yeah, because they said this is going to be a future themed campaign. So everything related to this campaign will be future. So green future makes sense. Starter ability, 150% damage, 130% damage guard, and then another 20% damage guard for 70 counts. Whoa, dude, calm down. That's crazy. Key recovery plus 50%, nullifies abnormal or attribute downgrades for 30 counts. So they're scared of just giving this character 150% damage guard straight up. Okay. The immortal body of a god. When enemy uses a strike / blast arts, enemy damage received plus 10%, enemy arts cost plus 5, which is good. Stacking arts cost debuffs are good, effective. On return to standby, draws 1 card of hand 3 or fewer, 30 key, ally health plus 5%, ally damage plus 20%. Yeah, the supporting effect is nice. Another character, by the way, that is just going to be constantly healing the entire team on swap out. Battlefield entry, 30 key, destroys 1 enemy card, all enemy strikes / blasters power minus 10%, seals all enemies' main abilities for 10 counts. 10 counts is actually a lot. Only twice, but 10 counts is a lot. That's longer than you would think. On cover change, destroys 1 card and draws a special arts next. Draw speed plus 2? They get 2 times card draw speed when they cover change. Not a fan. Not a fan. Enemy key minus 50 is good. Destroying a card and then reducing enemy key by 50 is decently nice. Oh, no, wait, no. They destroy their own card. Yeah, no, never mind. They destroy their own card. But they destroy an enemy card up here. Destroying a card, lowering power, sealing main, and lowering enemy key by 50. Yeah, you know, that's actually not bad. We don't really see this anymore, right? I mean, this is part of their philosophy, right? We don't see characters kind of just entering the battlefield and lowering enemy key by 50. That's a lot. Also, if health is 50% or lower, health plus 15%. Okay. When on standby, an enemy activates special move ultimate awakened arts, subcount minus 5, cancel enemy attribute upgrades. So they want you to swap into this character to take blues and ultimates, I guess. On strike, such blaster 2's damage plus 15%, nullify special cover changes, 5 counts, all enemy health restoration minus 10%. Okay, they got easy cover null. They're stacking damage. Okay, sure. When ally is defeated, health plus 20%, damage plus 50%, key recovery plus 30%, destroy entire enemy hand. When ally is hit by enemy arts, damage plus 15%, strike / blast arts cost minus 10. I'm just trying to think of a time where, like, I would not sack this character first, right? This is the type of ability where you want this on a character that's going to be like your ace character. Like, you want this mechanic on a character like Ultra Full Power Frieza, because you're not sacking him off first. But for a character like this, am I not sacking this character off instantly? Like, if my opponent goes for a rush and my whole team is alive and I have no second life abilities, where am I not sacrificing this character? You think this is not, like, if this is not, I'm going to be brutally honest, if this is not the worst character on your team, you are going to have a tough time. Okay. I'm like, okay, so they destroy the entire enemy hand. Does that activate if this character dies? It says when an ally is defeated, and technically they're their own ally, right? I guess technically if you're just taking like constant hits, you could be stacking up a lot of damage here. Damage plus 15% whenever an ally is hit by enemy arts. I mean, that counts themselves, right? What's their starting damage? 150? Yeah, 150. They can get 200 if there's a dead ally. They're stacking damage here. They're stacking damage here. They get extra damage permanently here against Saiyans or hybrids. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It doesn't particularly look good. Doesn't particularly look good. I think still, honestly, even post Zenkai, their most attractive feature seems to be their vanish removal on the green. Oops. So yeah, I don't think that's a particularly exciting character, but green future Zenkai bench, I guess. You know, let me actually just quickly take a look here. Green future, like what do we have? Transforming Vegito Blue, Ultra Rose. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it. Yeah, that is it. Okay. We should have a new Awaken equip. Other than that, I don't think there should be any new equips this week. Because we don't have a PvP reset is not happening. Co-op reset is not happening. Yep. There we go. Just another one of these weeks here. Sell. Okay. Future. 28% to strike defense. Middle slot is 32% of base offense. You choose. Slot 3, 10% to pure blast defense for each tag future battle member. It's actually pretty good. Typically when it comes to equips like this that are more defensively oriented, I prefer if they have HP. Or HP Restoration, either one. And the reason why is because HP and HP Restoration are the two best defensive stats in the game. Right? Like base and pure defenses are nice, but the way that the game works in terms of stat scaling, HP is just the best defensive stat. That's just the way it works. So normally I would look at this, or I would look at an equipment like this, and my criticism would be, this would just be way better if instead of being 28% to base strike defense in slot 1, they bump it down to like 10% and then also give us like 10% HP in slot 1. If this equipment was 10% strike defense and 10% HP in slot 1, this would be crazy. It'd be crazy. I still think this is pretty good though. And the reason why is just because 30% to pure blast defense is pretty nuts. Once you start getting into these crazy numbers for pure stats, like this, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the DB Awakened equip. Where is it? This reminds me of this, right? This is the same thing essentially. 10% to pure strike defense for each tag DB battle member. Slot 1 is giving you double base, which is a little better. But then slot 2, number 1, you don't have a choice, and then number 2, it's less stats for the base offense. So actually, this equip is quite good. Yeah, I think this is a very good equip. And the fact that you could choose whether or not you want Strike or Blast in slot 2 is nice. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good equip. Very, very good. But that's it. I think that's all we have. Give me a second. Let me just check if there's any interesting data mines, and then we will wrap up. All right, let's just quickly scan through this. Here is like the splash image for the campaign, the boost up future campaign. So we know that we're getting pretty much exclusively future buffs this month in October. Here's the Zenkai Rush battle. This is interesting. It looks like they're at least open to different ways of leveling up supporters. I guess they're supposed to correlate this with the second stage of the World Championship does happen starting today. I don't think anybody cares. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anybody really cares. But this is interesting. It's an event where you can level up your supporters by playing every day. I imagine that you have to at least own the supporters for this to actually matter. So just gonna point that out as well. And then there's a raid, which is good, against looks like a blue Goku here, I think, or maybe it's against, I don't know, it's against one of these two guys. Yeah, here's the second stage here. What is this? Thrilling Tuesday challenge. Log in and get CC. Don't miss them. Okay, that's just free stuff. Cool. Autumn pack on sale now. A special pack filled with items including Ultra Multi Z Power and Legends Limited Multi Z Power. Okay, it's like a limited time sale. We got the Goku Black and ZAMASU sleeves. We got what is this, like pajama trunks or something? Bulma. Okay, we got we got the Dr. Brief's cat. I actually don't know. Does Dr. Brief's cat have a name? I actually don't know. I don't know if it does. We have this boost up summon. Play events and get summon tickets. Kind of interesting that the Vegeta and Trunks are front and center on here. It looks like this is just a banner you get tickets for naturally. Let me actually just check if this is actually a banner you can spend CC on. Clearly this is like a banner you should not even come close to summoning on. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think that's like an actual... Wait. Yeah, I don't see it on here anyway. Am I missing it? Yeah, I don't see it. You get tickets for this banner by just playing events, so. We talked about the Zenkai, new PvP message. Yeah, this is me. What's going on? This is me kind of like reacting to there being like almost nothing this week. Come on. Talked about this. Daima is returning on a banner. Just for reference, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku, neither of these characters have returned a single time. This is the first time they're returning. And of course, I hate that they do this. This has been a trend that's been going on for a few years now, so this is not new, but I despise that they do this. They bring these characters back on banners that are separate from banners that feature new characters, right? The biggest example of this, and the one that I'll always go back to, is Blue Android 17. He came out in January of 2023, and the first time he ever returned was during the 5th anniversary, but instead of putting Blue 17 on the same banner as Goku and Frieza, they created an entirely separate banner to bring 17 back on, to make you summon on a different banner because they didn't want to put him on the same banner as Goku and Frieza. That's essentially what this is. It's not different. Obviously, I would have liked if they just put the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta on the Android 13 banner. Maybe they put Super Saiyan 4 Goku on the Android 13 banner. To me, that would have made sense because Android 13 is the least hype LF we've ever received, by far. It's not close, okay? The way you entice people to summon, other than making the character good, which they did, is you put hype side characters on the banner, right? Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku would be crazy to just put on that banner because people would actually want to summon. Same thing with Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, but instead they're doing this Daima pickup banner, which I don't think anybody's going to summon on because this team just is not good right now. But keep in mind that I think there is a very high chance that Daima will be some part of Festival. And as we get closer to Festival, probably as we get into very early November, I will drop my prediction video for Legends Fest. I already know who I think it's going to be, but I'll drop my my video as we get closer because I think it's too early right now. But yeah, I hate that they do this. I hate this. Again, it's not a new thing. This has been going on for years, but I wish they would stop doing this. Limit Break banner. So, dude, they're really trying to squeeze us out here. They dropped this October limited banner, which is up for the next week, featuring the first ever return of the Saiyan Saga LFs, Vegeta and Goku, which also comes with summon coins, right? For these, this is essentially just an upgraded version of this. So, yeah, these summon coins are basically the same as like these summon coins. So it's just like an upgraded version of that. They also brought back the Ultra Full Power Frieza banner last week, and now this week they're bringing the Limit Break banner out. I think the chances of an Ultra next week are like 80%. It's like 80-20. That's an Ultra, I think. They're really trying to squeeze us out of resources here. Yeah, this is look what they did as well. This only goes until the 13th, which is Monday. So they're trying to not have you be able to wait, see what the release next week is, and then, you know, decide to summon on this or not. They're taking this away early. This is I think typically these are up for a full week, right? They don't go away this early. And then I think that's it. That should be it. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys can let me know what you think of this week's update. Again, pretty disappointing week in terms of content. I was hopeful that we would also get some kind of unique equipment as well on top of the ZENKAI, but I don't know. I just... It's been 2 weeks since we've gotten a character, and the past 2 weeks, right, we've gotten free-to-play trunks last week, and that was it. This week we're getting essentially a 1% sparking, and that's it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I'm hopeful that the release next week is very exciting, and I'm also hoping that the release at the end of the month is exciting, because October so far, not off to a very good start. You guys let me know what you think. Maybe you disagree. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.